Hi, I'm Maggie, and I'm making my Project for Awesome video about donating blood. It's something you can do without any money. All you need is a good vein. Hospitals use a blood or give a blood transfusion every 2 seconds of every day in the United States, and that's just in the United States alone. I don't care if you don't like needles. That's something that you need to square away with yourself because they're not hurting you. The people who take your blood, they're called phlebotomists. These are 3 of our phlebotomists, and they're just great. They're very well trained. Everything is sterile and clean, and they just do great things for our community. They're very fun people to be around. I give blood in the same place a lot of the times, and I get to see them every few weeks, and it's really a pleasant experience. You can do it, and you'll be saving a life at the same time. I'm going to start out with some facts for you and go through the process of what happens during a blood drive. Sickle cell disease affects more than 80,000 people in the US, and 98% need blood transfusions on a regular basis. People undergoing chemotherapy often need blood transfusions, and over 1 million new cases of cancer are diagnosed every year. New cases. A single car accident victim can require as much as 100 pints of blood. Just one person. And when you give blood, you're only giving 1 pint. Can you tell me about why it's important to give blood?
Lots of people get in accidents every day, especially during the holiday season. They all need blood. The stock we have on hand usually lasts around 5 days. So
oh, wow.
It's a pretty quick turnaround. So every day it's important that we get a lot of units in.
Do you have any advice for people who want to go give blood?
Just call your local blood center, find out where they're having a drive, or just stop in just one in almost every town.
Alrighty, thank you so much. Only 8% of Americans actually give blood, which is up from 10 years ago when it was only 5%, which really isn't that many when you consider that about 38% of Americans are eligible to give blood, and you can do so every 56 days. So can you tell me why you give blood?
I give blood, I think, because I want to help people, and it's such an easy thing to do, and people need transfusions on an emergency basis. I would want to have access to safe blood if I were in an emergency situation. So I just want to take care of what I feel needs to be taken care of in our society.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
In terms of what's going to happen to your body when you give blood, a typical body has 10 to 12 pints of blood, and you are only donating 1. And after that 1 is taken out, your body will replenish the blood in about 24 hours. In terms of pain, it's really not that bad. Yes, it's going to hurt, but so is slamming your finger in a car door, and slamming your finger in a car door hurts way worse. Let me tell you. So now we're going to talk about the process of a blood drive. If you're really upset about donating, if you don't like blood or you don't like needles, you can always volunteer to help schedule or organize blood drives. You can, and that is also very, very important. My mom has been doing that for a long time, and she also donates blood. And she had to go out of town, so I ended up helping her out with scheduling the appointments this time, and it's pretty painless. It's work that really is thankless, but it's also very important. So what happens is she gets this big packet in the mail, and she calls a whole bunch of people, asking them, trying to make appointments to give blood, or you can walk in and give blood. Hi, my name is Maggie, and I'm a volunteer with the Puget Sound Blood Center. Hi, my name's Maggie. I am a volunteer with the Puget Sound Blood Center, and I'm a volunteer with the Puget Sound. I'm a volunteer with the Puget Sound Blood Center. I'm a volunteer with the Puget Sound Blood Philanthropy via text. I'm calling as a volunteer with the Puget Sound Blood. I'm a volunteer with the Puget Sound Blood Center. I'm a volunteer with the Puget Sound Blood Center. Hi, my name is Maggie, and I'm a volunteer with the Puget Sound Blood Center, and we're having a blood drive tomorrow at the United Church of Ferndale between 10:30 and 4:30, with a break for lunch between 1:30 and 2:30. And we'd love it if you could drop in any time to donate blood, or if you'd like to make an appointment, please call me. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day. Bye. cool. Last one. Well, I guess that's it. That's all. That's all she wrote. And the people who actually work for the blood center, they organize all of the equipment and the employees and all that stuff, and then they come to the location of wherever your blood drive's going to be, and you give blood. All right, here's a little how-to. Before you give blood, you make an appointment first. It's best. You don't have to. Often you can just walk in unannounced, and they will definitely make room for you. And one of the ways you can make an appointment or find your local blood center to volunteer is going to the Red Cross website, which is at givelife.org. Before you're going to go give blood, make sure that you've been drinking lots of water for the day or two before. Another thing is you want to make sure that your iron is good. For instance, we had a blood drive today. Oh, sorry. And I didn't have high enough iron today. Your iron has to be 12.5 and mine was only 11.7. Ways you can get iron are by taking iron tablets, but make sure that if you're going to just take iron tablets before you give blood, make sure you start at least 4 days before, because sometimes it takes a little while to get into your system. Red meat and dark leafy greens such as spinach are also filled with iron, but it still counts. Even if your iron isn't high enough, they still want you to come in and try, just to see if you give blood. It counts for them. It counts toward their numbers. Wear short sleeves, but bring like a sweater or a jacket, because I'm often find that I'm chill. Know the names of any medications that you're taking. Some medications aren't compatible with. You can't put if it's in your bloodstream, they can't give it to other people. So just be aware of that. And of course, bring your ID. And if you have a blood donor card, bring your blood donor card, because it's easier for them to just zap it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to fill out a form where they ask you a whole bunch of questions, potentially embarrassing, but they're not going to care. All they want is your blood. Then you go in and you talk to this person one-on-one in a private space, and they check your hemoglobin and iron in your blood, and they take your blood pressure and your pulse. If everything checks out, then you go over and lay down on a table, and they stick you with a needle. Not a big deal. They say that it usually takes 8 to 10 minutes. One time I took less than 5, and another time I took almost 20. So it just depends on how fast your heart is pumping that day. Then, of course, comes the fun part where they give you juice and cookies and sometimes a sticker. And sometimes you still get juice and cookies and a sticker even if you couldn't actually give blood. They still offer it to you often. And then it's all done. Then 56 days, you do the process again.